Like, you better call, or I'm gonna call for you. For me, singing was always an outlet, and I planned on having a career. So I called, and he said, well, I'd like you to come to dinner with us. My girlfriend said, let's get your makeup and hair done now. You know, this is it, you're gonna make it. We were so naive.
Yes, 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 yes. We
Yeah.
are here. We are here with Miss Lizzette Martinez. Let me start off by saying I'm super excited to have you on the show because there's been so many narratives and so many different stories painted when you talk about this story. You know what I'm saying? This is a story that's been close to the culture for a long time. So you coming out and speaking about it and speaking your truth, first of all, is amazing. You know what I
Thank
mean?
you.
Man, come on, man. It's so brave because
Thank
you did
you.
not have to do this. You know
No,
what I
I
mean?
didn't.
At all. You don't owe nobody to tell what's going on with you in your life. And I know you did it because you wanted to help others. And people forget
That's
that.
right.
Absolutely. That was your goal. And I
That's
think that's
it.
amazing. Yeah. Yeah.
That was really the only reason why I came out because I dealt with it a long time ago and I kind of like moved on from it. You don't get rid of it. It's something that I was so young and so impressionable that it scarred me, but I wanted to move past it. But listening to the girls and the parents and hearing that he was still doing what he was doing and what he did to me, I knew that I had to come out and say something because people weren't believing the parents. They can't see their daughters, all the things that he did to them. And now we can say that he did to them because he was convicted. So I just knew that I had to validate what they were saying somehow, some way, and share my story.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
And you're doing it in such an amazing way. Now, when you talk about your story, a lot of people don't know it. You know what I'm talking about? They just know what they read, and nobody believes the truth, and the lies more entertaining. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we kind of want to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Kind of hear the whole story and kind of find out what led up to what we here to talk about. So first thing we really want to know is where you from? You know what I'm saying? How was it growing up and where you from?
Well, I was born in Spanish Harlem,
Okay.
New York, and I was raised basically most of my life. I lived in Brooklyn till I was like 13, and then we moved to Miami. So I'm like a Miami girl.
Okay. Okay. All right. I like the vibe. So you kind of like you got a little mixture. You know what I'm talking
And
Yeah.
I'm Puerto Rican.
Okay.
Oh,
All right. All right. That's dope.
Boricua.
Yeah. Talk about it, man. You know what I'm talking
yeah.
about?
I'm
Um.
100% Puerto Rican,
Yeah.
and like people they would say like, "Oh, this white woman is trying to tear down a black man," and I'm
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
As
Yeah.
a white
That's a
woman, I'd be
fact.
like, no, she's not a
I'm
white woman.
like, I tear down any predator. It don't
Yeah.
matter who they are.
Yeah, yeah, say that, say that. Like people think a predator has color lines. You know what I'm talking about?
I
Like,
tear
like,
down all them motherfuckers.
yeah,
I tell them
yeah,
predators. Period.
yeah. Talk your shit. You know what I'm talking about? We don't address the culture today. You feel me? You know what I'm talking
We
about?
have
That's
to,
yeah,
especially the women, because they're the worst.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I get it. I get
Yeah.
it. What did you want to be when you was a child? Is that you know what I'm talking about? Like, what
I
was your
wanted to be
dream?
a singer. I came from a very musical family. My father was a Latin percussionist,
Oh,
Dope.
and
that's dope.
he was a singer as well. He's still, he sings. And my mother was an Afro-Cuban dancer, and all of our family basically were very musical. And my dad's cousin is Sabu Martinez, which is like a jazz giant. I mean, he played with Dizzy Gillespie and all them people. So, you know, I thought I could really make it. You know what I mean? I didn't think it was like that I couldn't. So I always, from a young age, that's what I did. You know, things at home, you know, I come from, you know, a family, my parents were divorced, but I had a stepfather and a stepmom. So I have four parents. And things at my mom's wasn't too great at times. You know, we were going through hard times. And just music was everything to me. Like, you know, I was singing Linda Ronstadt songs, Bette Midler songs, Motown songs. And, you know, it was just the world to me. And I felt like if I made it, I could help my family. That was the real reason why I wanted to help them.
Yeah, yeah, I get it.
Mhm.
I can relate to it, man. A lot of us have them dreams, you know what I'm saying, and those aspirations, and it pushed us to want to, especially get our family out of them situations. We come from low income situations, you know what I'm saying. So I get
Yeah,
it,
we were
man.
poor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You
yeah,
know
But I
what I'm
can see
saying? I
too.
mean, we were a poor family. You know, I had eggs and rice. That's what I used to eat.
yeah.
And my
Oodles
parents,
and noodles.
damn right. And that Chef
Yeah,
Boyardee shit
yeah.
and all
Talk your
that
shit.
stuff.
Yeah,
Listen,
yeah,
I grew up, we had hard times, and
yeah,
that's fine because gave me a lot of character. I know how to
Mhm.
survive.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
Yeah. When you go through that kind of stuff, you're at the lowest of lows and you realize you can get through anything at that point.
I could make it through anything. Listen,
Yeah, yeah. Talk
I
your
know how to
shit.
budget. I could.
So my big wall, he gets weird sometimes.
He knows exactly what I'm saying.
Right?
Yeah.
We
That
got
part.
$30 for the week.
Oh
Come
yeah,
on,
I've been
man.
there. I've been
Come
there
on,
too.
man. Hard times and
$40.
bubble gums, you know, like in the wintertime with no heat. You got to be in
No
one
heat.
bedroom. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
No,
oh,
my
yeah.
mom used to put the oven on.
Oh, to
With
Oh
open the
yeah.
oven door. You know what I'm talking
yeah,
about? Yeah, that part. You know what I'm saying?
exactly. So,
Yeah,
you know, shit was fucked up. So
yeah,
I was
yeah,
like, yo, I got it. I could do it. And that's
Yeah.
yeah,
why I went so hard.
yeah,
But
yeah.
you know, I didn't think that my dreams were gonna be cut short like that, and I was gonna go through. I never imagined that that would happen to me, and then when it happened to me, I damn sure didn't think I would be talking about it
Hmm.
today. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
um, but it is
Yeah.
what it is. You know what I mean? There's a bigger purpose here, and
yeah,
that's what
And
absolutely.
the
yeah.
book is about.
Yeah, yeah.
It's my
And you doing it.
perspective. It's my perspective of what happened.
It's your
Mhm.
truth. You know
Right.
what I mean? It's your truth. And
It's told from my eyes what happened to me. I didn't need Lifetime to tell it for me because they did a terrible job. And every
yeah,
time I see that video, I want to throw up because
Oh no.
they did some foul shit.
yeah,
And you know, showing my legs like that, that's not conservative. They told me it was gonna be from the waist up. I had another outfit, then they tell me, oh, it has to be black. And I'm like, well, I want to wear white because of my religion, whatever.
Hmm.
And those are my beliefs, and I just what I want to wear. And they would just
yeah,
would not have it. And then they show my legs. It's so inappropriate. I just want everyone to know that
Yeah.
yeah,
that
yeah,
No,
was
that's good.
me trying
That's
to be
good to say.
sexy on television. That was some old shit that they pulled.
yeah.
And
And
I tell on their ass in the book because it has to be
yeah,
done.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 No,
That's
no,
true.
no, talk
Media.
your shit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
No, because
yeah,
they did some foul shit and the world needs to know about it. And you know, they trying to make it up now with the third part that we did, you know, but it's just Hollywood needs to do better for survivors, and you can't just profit off of our stories and then just leave us and just figure out your life now after we done given it all, and with the bullying and everything that goes on. No, you don't, people don't want to hire you, you know, because they know what they Google you now and they know everything about you, and they don't want to get involved in that shit. So it cost me a lot. My life was great before I came out. Like no cap. My life was wonderful. I didn't have a problem. And then this happens, and then you go through depression, and then you go through anxiety, and there's just no one to help you.
yeah, yeah. And cause like I said in the beginning, like you didn't have to do this. You know what I'm saying? Like your dreams and your aspirations was yours. Didn't nobody know it. And for you to be coming out trying to save some people or help, I know seeing the other families in certain situations, it struck a chord with you. You know what I mean? But a lot of people don't do that. You know what I'm saying? That should be commended within itself. You know what I'm
Thank you.
saying?
Yes.
Man, come on, man.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's
so
true.
much.
It's
You
very
know,
true because
yeah.
a lot of people don't know. Sorry, I just want to say real quick because I myself been through something sort of similar. Okay, not completely 100% similar, but very similar, and it's very hard for others to be able to come out and be able to speak about it because they still fear someone's going to come after them and do something to them or be able to be like, no, get gaslighted again and be like, no, you're wrong, completely wrong. And then, you just want someone to be able to hear your truths, be able to be like, okay. And then someone else can come up to you and be like, yeah, I completely feel the same way. I've been through the same thing. Then they feel much more better, much more open to be able to talk about their experiences, which in turn helps them to be able to heal through that whole process. Because as you know, it takes a long time to be able to heal just from like one tiny experience. Like myself too, when I was little, my parents got divorced as well. So, the two whole parent situation, the same thing. So you're even from childhood still healing from that process. And then to be able to continue on through your life and have something else traumatic happen and continuing on and on. So it's nice that you can come out and be able to be like, hey, went through this situation. This is who I am today. You can survive it too. And feel free to be able to talk about it because people are now coming more out about it and being like, yeah, this is my situation. This is what happened. Talk about it. Talk about it. Talk about it. Let's heal. Let's continue forward and be able to help other people as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I'm sorry you went through that.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm healing though. That's the thing. We got to talk about it because it's not just me. It's not just you. There's other, and it's not just women. It's men too. So
I always say that I'm an advocate for men too. Men that have been abused. I'm not a feminist. So, you know what I mean? I love men too. And I worry about the kids and, all that.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, speaking about your passions, do you still do music? Because I know you came up as a singer.
Yeah.
Do you still record?
My son is a musician, so I kind of like support my son in that. But I did write a song and I recorded a song for the Me Too movement, and it's about the R. Kelly survivors. So I may release it soon. I have to go back and get it mixed down. But all that stuff takes a little bit of time. I'm kind of like focused on the book right now. But I sing in my shower.
The shower, in the car, you name it.
Shower studios.
I sing all the time because I just love music so much. Like there's so many things that are triggering still. Just you were saying like it takes a long time to get over stuff, and sometimes you think you're over it, but you're not. And there's this song by Adele that just came out, and it talks about it says like, be easy, baby. I was just a child. I didn't have a chance to feel or something like that. And that shit made me cry because I was like thinking about myself. Like I was just a kid and I didn't have a chance to feel and to experience things as a kid. It was like I was thrown into a situation that I shouldn't have been. It was too adult. It was too dark. It was too everything. No one should go through that. But yeah, so things do trigger me still.
Absolutely.
Just the slightest thing. Do you find
the slightest thing?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I find like even sometimes listening to a certain song can trigger something and you're like, but then it's kind of like that feeling that, you listen to it and then you just bawl your eyes out. And then it's like, how much better you feel after that.
I cried in the room. I was crying and it was like, I haven't cried in a minute. I didn't cry since The Verdict.
Yeah. Wow.
Mm-hmm. It's been a long process.
Huh? And I'm a crier. Like I cried.
Yeah.
But I've been trying to like be a little stronger and try to get a hold of my emotions a little bit because they were all over the place. After that documentary aired, I was all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you find writing your book? I want to just kind of dig into that just a little bit. How did you find writing that book? Did you find that, did you learn a lot from writing it about yourself and about like everything that you went through? And how did you kind of deal with your emotions through that whole writing process?
That process was it was good, and it was sad, and it was funny at times, and it was every emotion because I'm going back to those time, that time where I was so innocent and I had so many different emotions just being a 17-year-old girl. And then then you have to go into the dark side of things. And then you go into the present day, like, because everything's in the book up until now. We take a break up until I come out, in 2018. But my co-writer, we wrote it together. We have writing sessions like twice a week, and at times she had to take a break from it because it was getting too overwhelming, and it was getting. She's a survivor as well, and so it was a process that it wasn't easy at times, but we knew we had to finish it because people were asking about it. They write to me and say, "Well, do you have a book? I want to read your book." If the other girls came out, the other survivors came out with books right away after the documentary, but I really wasn't in that headspace. I didn't think to do that. It wasn't something that I planned. It was just something that just sort of happened.
How did it kind of happen? What made you start that process?
Well, I started journaling because I always kept a journal as a young girl, and that helped me through a lot of things. And then I remembered that, so I just started journaling again. And those journals, that writing, I felt like my writing could help other women and children and teenage. I think the book is good for teenagers as well, like 17, 18. Um, because they'll learn what to look for, those signs of abuse if they're in relationships that they don't know where they're being abused.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's a lot of signs, you know what I mean, that parents can see and different things that can help make you understand and be aware of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Especially like when you see a celebrity.
Exactly. Great
Yeah.
point. The
yeah,
parents, the signs for them to look out for.
Hmm.
Because my parents saw a change in me. They didn't know what was going on, but I was after, like a year, I was like totally a different person. And they knew something was wrong, but they didn't know quite what was wrong because Robert, he's a narcissist. He's an abuser. So he kept me isolated. He wanted to isolate me from my family, my friends. He would just say, they're not going to understand. I'm going to help you. And everyone's jealous of you. So you start to believe those fucking lies because you're being abused. And they're
absolutely.
lies.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know what?
You're being like manipulated, and you're being gaslighted, and you're being like, you don't even know yourself anymore because there's someone else changing you.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
And the thing is, it's so slow. It's like they always compare it to like the frog in the boiling water, right? You put the frog in the water in the pan and it's just like cool. And you slowly turn up the temperature until the frog actually gets boiled because it doesn't even recognize it, right? So it's kind of the same thing. You're in this whole narcissistic type of situation. Things are happening around you, and you just like you're living your everyday thing, your usual schedule, you're doing this, but you're more or less trying to impress that other person. You're giving of yourself so much all the time that you want them to just love you because you think you're like, oh, if I do this, they'll love me. So slowly over time, you're being like the frog in the water. You're losing your perspective. And it's not usually until people tell you that, something is wrong. Something's like you're completely different. You're not seeing anybody anymore. slowly not going to seeing family and friends, even like close family, you're not even seeing them anymore, right?
No, I wasn't seeing my best friend, who's been my best friend since we were 12. He just completely alienated me. But to answer the question about counseling, yes, I'm still in counseling. I'm in therapy. I go to therapy, and there's no shame in that. Anyone that
Absolutely.
talks to someone, this is a long process of healing. Like I said, it doesn't just miraculously disappear and you feel wonderful because he was convicted. Now the real work has to start for me and
Yeah.
to move really forward.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever,
Absolutely.
yeah, what are some coping skills that you can teach others through this kind of, situation? You said, yeah, counseling is one of them, but is there anything else maybe you can share with a few people that are going through this situation that you learned that you want to share?
Well, I believe in daily prayer. I praise God all the time. I do meditation with my daughter. Actually, my daughter taught me that. I did this transcendental meditation course, and it's helped me a lot. And also like daily affirmations, and I look in the mirror and I tell myself that I love myself and that I'm worth it, and I just try to love myself and self love and self-care, because when you're abused you forget about yourself. You don't even matter. You so it's getting back to you, putting all the attention on yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely, man. Shouts out to you. You know what I'm saying?
Ah,
Shouts out to you.
you
Man,
are
come on,
trip.
man.
I
I'm
love you
just.
though. You are
Here,
so
here.
you
Thank
are
you.
so
I love you too. Thank you. I appreciate that.
and
Thank you.
I love Chicago.
Man, talk your shit. You know
Hey.
what I'm saying? And look, and see, that's what I'm saying. Like, me being from the crib, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
we all know, you know what I'm saying? R. Kelly is different from us than the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, we was raised on him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Of
we
course.
all know the stories where it was known in the city that R. Kelly would be at certain restaurants and certain high schools. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I was a shorty. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? And I was in 8th grade, 6th, 7th grade. You know what I'm saying? And it was known in the city. You know what I'm talking about? So like the tape, everybody knew what it was, especially at the crib. You know what I'm saying? So that's why,
Right.
like, to see you ladies going through what you're going through, and still have the doubters and the naysayers. You know what I'm saying? That push beyond the truth just because he made good music. You know what I'm saying? And for me, that's not good enough. You know what I'm saying? That's not an excuse. You feel what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. So, like, for me, when we talk about the different questions that's been asked, like, how do you feel about what people say, like, that everybody around R. Kelly should get the same thing that he feel because he had helpers. You can't commit this type of situation without people helping you. So, how do you feel about people who say that?
The enablers.
The
Yeah.
enablers, the
Enablers.
infamous enabler.
Hmm.
You said it.
The enablers
Yeah.
should be in jail too.
Talk your shit.
And let me tell you something, who's an enabler. Like the executives of those record labels that he was under contract for are terrible, terrible, and they should throw themselves off the bridge, because and I'm just saying, like, it's that severe, because they knew what happened to Aaliyah. They knew about the lawsuits. They knew that he was sick. They knew that, when I say he's sick, I'm not making excuses for him. He's a sick individual and he can get help in jail. I don't think he should be out at all because he has a problem. His problem has affected so many women of color and women in general that there is no excuse. However, what I'm saying is that they should have pulled the plug on his contract and been like, listen, you're not going to make any more music, because we can't co-sign this behavior. Like, no. And they didn't do it because he was making money, so much money for so many rich people, and powerful people. The CEO of Jive went on the record after the documentary and said, well, I knew, but what was I supposed to do? I mean, really? You knew, but what was I supposed to do?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. See,
Yeah.
that's what I'm talking about. And it's a lot of questions. Like I didn't personally had conversations with one of our coaching gang members say, I can't even listen to R. Kelly songs anymore. He is a monster. You know what I'm saying? And that is a lot of people's sentiments. You know what I'm saying?
Of
But
course.
man, come on, man. When you hear those lyrics and you know his motives, for me, the music hit different. You know what I'm saying? Like when you know what it is, you know what I'm saying? And like I done had personal conversations with people who done had doubts and mistrust. You know what I'm saying? What do you say to the people who say this is a money grab, Lizzette? You just doing this to try to get rich. You know what I'm talking about?
I want to get back to what you were saying, and then I'm gonna answer that about listening to the music. The unfortunate, you can't listen to the music because those songs, those records were being made while we were being raped.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Say that again, Lizzette, because I don't think they heard you in the back.
Let me tell you something. You can't listen to the music. You can't because in those studios, there were underage girls. There were girls being raped and being hit and being manipulated and being isolated. And how could he write a song, that song that he dedicated to me? It was so weird to me at that time, and still is. It's just a fucking weirdo. A song about like a sexual song.
Is it a famous, like a song he put out that we was dance like?
It was on the first and the second album, and it was like I don't remember. I don't care, but the point is that these songs are hypersexual songs about raping girls. Yeah. Everything that he writes is based on life. He doesn't write anything down because he can't read or write.
Yeah.
So these songs in his head it was appropriate, and it wasn't. It was so inappropriate. But in his head or whatever, his predatory ways, he just makes these records about sex, and it's all about young girls.
Yeah.
Wow. I know I was watching the Netflix series, and it was his wife, I believe, that was speaking about how the studio had bedrooms and such in it as well. And he'd just bring back the girls there right to the studio. And I was like, it's not even separate from the music. And now you just saying that, I'm just like, yeah. All his music now.
That's what was going on. That was giving him the inspiration, and everything was the us underage girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the youngest girl? Are you allowed to say who the youngest? Not who, but the age.
No, I mean, they say Aaliyah, when he messed with her, was 12.
Yeah.
And I love Aaliyah so much. And the young lady that's on the videotape, she was 14 years old.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he was 30?
Absolutely. But you know what's crazy to me, Lizzette? Like, he actually got another young lady. Well, I'm telling you like you don't know. But you know what I'm saying? But we chopping it up. You know what I'm talking about, Lizzette? You feel me? That part. He got another young lady while he was in trial. The lady who was young lady out there.
Right?
Like what are we doing? Literally, while he's going to trial,
he picks up a teenager.
Come on, man.
Just to feed his ego, right? That's all he wants.
Trial.
During
trial.
Yeah.
This just shows you, like, this is a predator. I don't know what
arrogance. The predator.
Arrogance. He's a narcissist.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And the one thing about narcissism is they're always consistently needing supply. That's the thing. Right. They need to be fed that love. They need to be fed like, well, if one person isn't going to give me attention, I'm going to get it from somewhere else. And then somebody like the girl at the trial holding up, his newspaper or whatever, that to them is just like their bigger star, right? Never mind R. Kelly being a celebrity in himself. Think of all the power that he has as a celebrity and being like rich, right? Women are going to flock to that. So that's like feeding in itself. And then on top of that, having little girls being able to look up to him, going, "Oh, I just love you and your music and this and that." That just feeds and feeds
Right.
and feeds, right? Yeah.
Absolutely. Good point. But yeah, I don't know, like to me he's just a predator, and that's what I said when I came out, because I came out in BuzzFeed News in 2018 before that documentary.
Mhm.
That they told my story, and I just said he's a predator. That's who he is.
Yeah, yeah. Well, 100%, and like you touched on the narcissism, you know what I'm saying, and everything he did. Like he literally released a song called I Admit, the 18-minute song when he
Hmm.
talked about everybody, told everybody how ungrateful they are and what he done. Like the arrogance for me was like through the roof. When everybody know that was you, it just let me know exactly how his mind worked. Because I pick up on that kind of activity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that just let me know, gave me an insight on who he was as a man for me.
Right, because why didn't he say I'm sorry?
Not once.
Yeah, they never
Like
do.
like
They're liars.
he think we don't know that's him on that video. Like he think
Yeah.
we crazy. Like he really believed that we didn't know that was him on that video. You know what I'm talking about?
Right,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
also when he did the Gail King interview, and all of that show that he did, he really thought that by acting that way and getting all crazy the way he is, and it was gonna connect with people, and they were gonna be like, "Oh, he's not lying.
Yeah,
They're lying." I mean, he
yeah,
called us liars during that interview. He said
yeah.
we're lying on him,
Yeah.
and and I'm not lying on him.
Yeah, no, you're not. You're not. Like everybody's not lying, and it's funny how everybody got the same story: the slipping of the note, the whispering in the
Exactly.
air. Like you know what I'm saying? It's the same way. Like you and Ezreal Clary, y'all story's the
The
same. Like
same.
she's 17, y'all come from good family, y'all was
Florida.
pursuing your music in Florida. The tactics separated you from your families. Like y'all stories really
Yeah,
align up a lot. You know what I
very
mean?
much so.
Absolutely. You know what I mean? And those are the type of things that and the conversations that I have with different people, because
Yeah.
everybody have their own viewpoint. What do you say to those who say the victims were at fault because they were fast? They
Yeah.
knew what they were fast
I
girls. They
mean,
knew.
Yeah.
I mean that term should be eradicated from our vocabulary,
Talk your shit.
because we're not fast girls. He's the problem. An abuser is the problem, not the young girl. We are impressionable. We had dreams. We had stars in our eyes, and he preyed upon that. And to go back to when you said, like, is this a bad? I'm trying, I don't know, clout chasing or the
Money
bag.
grab, trying to
Yeah.
get rich off of the
Yeah,
situation.
I made $1,000. That can't even pay my rent. And I didn't do it for
Yeah.
money. And that was for the archives, the pictures and the videos and stuff like that I had. Um,
Mhm.
we didn't make anything off of this. They made the money.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
And the book, my proceeds is going to my nonprofit.
Yeah.
It's called House of Delia, which is my grandmother. She was a street social worker, and she helped
Mm.
immigrants and women and in this country, and she spoke 5 languages, and she's taught me
Wow.
empathy and compassion. And so I want to make these safe homes for men and women when they need to
Mhm.
go somewhere. I want to give them the tools to go back into society strong and independent. And so it's not a money grab for me. It really comes from my heart.
Yeah.
And I was hurt, and you know what? And I don't give a, like, to be honest with you, if I wanted to make money, it's my fucking story anyways. It's my pain is what I went through. But that's not the case. And I don't want to, who wants to be famous for this? I want to be known for helping others. That's it.
Yeah.
Lizette, those are for the people who just 3 beers short of a six-pack, because it just don't make no sense, because
Yeah.
like how we spoke about it in the beginning, like just the attention and the negativity that comes with this alone is not worth the money. You did not have to speak out
Yeah.
No,
at all.
not at all.
at all. You don't owe
Not at all.
nobody this. Like, come on, man. Like, if you can't recognize that this is coming from a place of love, you know what I mean? It's not for you to understand. So again, shouts out to you.
Thank you.
For standing up and coming out and speaking your truth. And if you make right back at you, man. And if you make money off of this, you make your money. You know what I'm talking about? Because you deserve it. You're supposed to speak your truth.
That's
you know what I'm saying? Don't let nobody take your sunshine and tell you otherwise.
No,
you know
I'm not. I just tell them. I just thank you. Thank you so much, and I love you both.
100%.
Thank you for having me here. I really, really appreciate it. And letting me speak. But the thing is that these people, they're not all there. That's the easiest thing you can say. Oh, they did it for money. Okay, what else?
Yeah.
Does your brain go any further than that? To try and see that maybe we're not lying and maybe we just want to help other women.
Yeah.
Like it's not difficult.
Judge so quickly. Yeah, people judge so quickly, but I did see on your Instagram page, so all of you that are listening or watching, you can go to her Instagram page and it's Lizzette Martinez. At the top, she's got her nonprofit up on her page there, and you guys can donate to that. So I just wanted to put that there real quick. I think that's awesome and amazing because it's true. You go through that situation, you're kind of on your own, or you feel like you're on your own, and it's like you're only trying to get back into your life and you're trying to, make your own money so that someone doesn't have control over that. Because as narcissism and these people that are, they manipulate you, all that kind of stuff, it's not just, sexual abuse. It goes much deeper than that. Like you said, you're isolated. There's financial abuse. There's, I take it, you're of religion. I'm of religion too. I'm Catholic. So it was spiritual abuse too, because they use that power over you. So being able to get that out, now people can kind of see there are many, many red flags to look for. You can see a couple maybe, but people need to open up their eyes and be like, there's just more to it than just this. It's not just their pretty looks. It's not like, oh, you look up narcissism in the dictionary. Oh, it's someone who admires himself. It's not just that. There's so much more. Like, go on to Google, do your research, check up narcissism, check up, gaslighting, check up all the terms, every single term of abuse. Look it all up because you or someone watching this can be in that situation and don't even realize it. And it's not like we have to get that word out. You have to be like, okay, this is the situation. If you need help, get help. That's all there is to it. And having your voice come on and be able to be like, okay, you were involved with a celebrity status. This is how it is. You could easily, you're on the line. You don't have, like we said, you don't have to be coming out and doing this. But someone that's watching this, that's like, oh, well, she was, with a celebrity and all this. Wow, I can come out too and be able to help myself and help someone. Because it's not often people we're so quiet about it. Because number one, we don't know what's going on. But when you do find out, you don't know how to take those next steps.
Yeah.
It's not until, you can go for counseling or be able to talk to someone about it that you realize, okay, I do need to do something. And it's scary. It's super scary. You don't know what to do.
It's scary because the statistic is like a woman will leave 10 times before they actually really leave, finally. So it's a lot of soul searching, but we came out on a major celebrity and I'm not really, what I'm trying to say is that the women out there, anyone going through something, you're not alone. You know what I mean? There's a lot of help, and there's a lot of resources for you to leave. And I know it's not easy, and you love the person because we love our abusers, unfortunately. And you start to believe the lies. But a person that loves you doesn't hurt you. Person that loves you doesn't want to alienate you from your family and your friends. They want the best for you. So those are the things that I like to get across to the young women out there listening, or men, somebody, in an abusive relationship. You matter, period.
In that order. Beautiful. In that order. You know what I'm talking about? And those are the things that I be just don't understand on, you know, the mentality of people. And I kind of wanted to ask you, why do you think, even after all this time, all this evidence, you know, just, you know, we could go back as far as Aaliyah, you know what I'm
Mhm.
talking about, all the way up to today with you ladies. Why do you think people still doubt it? Because there's still people out here that doubt, even if he did it, which is crazy. But why do you think that's a thing?
I honestly, I really can't answer that question. I just know that he's beloved. Like they love him, like they worship him. Like, and I just don't understand it. I don't get it. I mean, it's really, people need to take a look at themselves. Like if you still riding for this motherfucker, maybe you're a predator too. I don't know. I don't even know what to say about that. Like it could have been your daughter, it could be your niece, it could be your sister, could have
Yeah,
been anybody. This guy knew exactly how to use his fame, his fortune, his enablers to hurt women, to hurt young
yeah.
girls. And you know, in the book I talk about, there was a girl in my school that I found out not too long ago that was dealing with him too, that I didn't know back then.
Wow.
Wow.
There's a lot of things in the book that, you know,
Yeah.
people don't know. But
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I wasn't the only one.
Mhm.
And then there
Yes.
was another girl from Miami that was one of the Jane Does that reached out to me after the documentary, and she was raped by him at a concert.
Wow.
And
Wow.
she's a Puerto Rican girl too. So
Wow.
there's a lot of victims, and I think that there's so many that have not come out.
Have you noticed a pattern with him of who he chooses? Do you think?
To me, he chooses vulnerable girls and that are wounded. Because I
Mm.
was, you know, because I was sexually abused before I even met him when I was a
Yeah.
child
Yeah.
Mhm.
by a babysitter and then by a family friend. And
Yeah.
so I had my own scars already. And he chooses girls that are going through something. He knows. You can tell. He choose there could be a room full of like 30 women, grown women, confident, gorgeous women, and he'll choose the girl, you know, with braces in the corner,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
little girl.
Yeah. That's crazy that you said that. Like we didn't heard that verbatim. I didn't heard that so much coming from the crib. You know what I'm saying? Like that is a fact. You know what I mean? But when we talk about the victims, I wanted to ask you, Lizzette, he had a long run. You know what I'm talking about? He got away with it for a long
Long
time.
time.
Do you think he would have got away with it so long if it wasn't women of color?
Absolutely not.
Talk
If
your
that was
shit.
a, if no offense, but if that was a white girl on that video, they would have hung him.
Yeah, yeah,
And I have to say it because that's just the way, you know, women of color, we're not really protected in this country.
yeah,
Yeah,
And you
that's
know, hopefully now, you know, that something will change. However, I believe that if it was, you know, if the girl wasn't black, it would have been a different story.
yeah, yeah.
that's
Um,
I'm just keeping it 100
yeah.
because
and
No,
that's why
thank
I asked
you.
you, Lizette, like
Yeah.
keep it 100 because like
Yeah.
we trying to change the narrative. You know what I mean? Like okay, like I get it. He made great music, and I get that. You know, a lot of people tied to him like that music, but at the end of the day, wrong is wrong, right is right. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's unfair to point the finger at victims. You know what I mean? Because what he did is no
Mm.
no right in it. You know what I mean? Like you know, like people say, don't everybody deserve forgiveness? And yeah, people do deserve forgiveness, but you gotta admit you did something wrong first.
I was
Yeah.
just gonna say that part.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking
How
about?
can you get forgiveness if you don't even admit that you did something wrong?
Come
Yeah.
on, man. People forgiving him already, like
And
speaking from him as if he said, I did it. I have yet to hear him say he did it. Once you admit it, then you can get forgiveness. So
mhm.
I'm not going to feed into that narrative. So again, shouts out to you for
Yeah.
coming out and standing and speaking your truth.
Thank
For
you.
real.
As a victim, have you forgiven him yet?
Have I what?
Have you given him forgiveness yet?
I mean, I'm working on it, but I'm not there yet. Like,
Yeah.
there, in one of the documentaries, I had like a nervous breakdown on camera. And that's another thing. Like, they poke you and poke you and poke you for hours, and there's triggers and this and that. And, I said that I always loved the good part of him, because there was a good part of him back then, but the bad part superseded the good part. So, sitting here today, no, I don't forgive him. I don't love him. I don't care about the good part. He's a monster. He destroyed my life, my young adult life. And he's destroyed so many other girls that, I don't know if we'll ever fully heal. So no, I can't forgive him.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You entitled to that.
I'm not there. You go through emotions.
It
you
is.
go through different emotions.
Yeah.
And you start but I was abused. You know what I mean? Like, emotionally and mentally and physically. And when you love your abuser, because that's just the way the cycle is.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't love that motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like, he belongs where he needs to be. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, you made your bed, go lay in it. You know
That's
what I mean? Like, you didn't have no right to do what you did to me.
Mm-hmm. Or anyone else.
Or anyone else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, when I go to speak at the victim's impact statement, at the sentencing, I'm gonna tell him, like, you ruined too many lives. Like, you've been doing this for how many years? And
30 years.
30 years destroying lives.
Yeah.
And you can't even say you're sorry.
Yeah. Not
sorry,
yet.
I can't forgive you.
Yeah. I was just reading one of the comments here, and one lady was, okay, here we go. Yeah. Some of the women will never recover from it.
No.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It can just ruin your life. It really can. You think you're worthless. You think, like, I will never be loved again. You really start to kind of even lose trust in your own family and your friendships. And you start losing that trust throughout. Did you find that you have that too, Lizzette? Did you find you had a really hard time trusting people again?
I still don't trust them.
No, hey, that's real talk. I still don't mess with y'all. You know what I'm talking about?
Like, I don't trust you too. I'm out here.
That's a fact.
Well, I'm just gonna say this. Like,
I feel you though.
I'm just keeping it on it.
All the way.
I'm not gonna say. I'm getting better.
It's a process. It's a process.
It's a process, but men, I don't trust y'all motherfuckers.
Hey,
some of y'all liars, just straight up liars. I don't want to call out no names, but I will if you test me.
Hey, I ain't ducking no smoke. You know what I'm talking about? Hey, shoot it out. You know what I'm talking about?
You. You're the good guy.
Yeah, say that. Say that. That part. Thank you, Lizzette.
But these other
Talk your shit. I'm receiving that. You know what I'm talking about? I'm receiving that, Lizzette. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
I should have a dating show at this point. Because
let's do it.
Look, hey, we gonna put something together. Look, Lizzette.
I know someone.
I see you. You got a whole vibe going on. We gonna put something together. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, we gonna chop it up after this. You know what I'm talking about?
That's playing too many games out here in Miami. I ain't got time for them.
Okay.
There's a real one. Please stand up already. Like, for real. I said that on the other podcast I was on. I was like, can y'all give me a dating show or something? Can y'all get some photos in, some guy, maybe some nice guy.
Yeah.
On a date or something. Look, they was like, what's wrong with you?
Look, you got the right one. You know what I'm talking about? We gonna put something together. You know what I'm talking about? Let me find out. You know what I'm talking about?
Maybe somebody in Italy. me because I see y'all.
Yes, we go right to
Look,
Italy.
Look,
That's
hey,
right. That's right.
we got somebody. You know what I'm talking about?
Somebody, I don't know. Shit, I don't know.
I think she's healing just fine, folks.
Oh shit! I'm trying to trust mother, but it's hard.
Talk your shit. You know what I'm saying? It's
You
good.
meet somebody and you like trying to trust them and give them benefit of that, and then these motherfuckers.
Look. Hey, now, Lizzette, now, you know you got to give them a chance now. You know what I'm talking about?
That's the problem. Yes, and they figure out.
So,
And
okay.
I'm telling these motherfuckers. I tell them in the beginning. I tell them, don't it up. Because I already know what's coming.
Oh, no.
That's the thing. When you've been through the situation, you know the red flags, and you're like, oh.
I see the red flags 20 miles away.
So you're not ignoring no red flags. You're not ignoring no red flags, huh? Like,
no.
So, okay, so is it a one strike you out kind of situation? Two, you give them three, like, what is Lizzette giving them? Grand opening, grand closing?
Wait, this is it.
Yeah, like, you hit, like, I don't know, like, I could tell when they're gonna get up.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm on alert, and then they get up.
Yeah.
And then I get rid of them because I don't like liars.
Yeah.
And I don't like people that, you know, they think their shit don't stink.
Yeah.
And you know, like I'm a very humble person. I like humble people.
Yeah.
And don't play no games. Like, you know what I mean? Just be honest.
Yeah.
That's all I ask for. Is that a lot?
Nah.
You're like me. We get on the highway and we're driving, and then there's Six Flags, all red flags. We just keep driving.
Yeah, we keep going. Everybody.
We don't want to play that music. We're going.
Go with us.
Nah. Only the chosen few.
That's right.
It's a secret society. All we ask is trust. Right. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. That's a fact. We gonna put something together, Lizzette. I see what type of time you on, man. I see you, man. It's a whole vibe. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, that part. Now, I know recently it's been a whole lot. You know what I'm saying with the verdict, and I know R. Kelly, he on his TP 2000 tour is what I call it. He on his tour. He on his trial tour. He on the TP2 trial tour. You know what I'm talking about? So I'm just saying, you know what I'm talking about? So I'm just saying.
I love it. You a true king.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I salute you, king.
Yeah, talk your shit. I'm receiving it, Queen. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So he made his first stop to a sold out crowd. You know what I'm talking about? On tour, and he gonna keep moving around. So, how do you feel when it comes to the tour? I mean, the trial and everything. Just overall, what's your viewpoint when it comes to it?
I mean, when I listened to the transcripts, I was sick to my stomach.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I was getting a little bit of scared there because that had some people coming in that was like vouching for him, and then in my mind I had like PTSD from the first trial.
Yeah.
Thinking, like, he's gonna get off again.
Yeah.
And then, you know, but the prosecution did a great job. Like, they just start rolling everybody in. Tell your story. Tell your story. You know, I'm Jane Doe number 9. I didn't go to trial because there was the judge put a gag on what I could talk about. And the prosecution was not very happy about that. And for some reason, they kept on bringing up my name and in the court, like at trial, like, we're going to bring her. And I could only talk about certain things that were listed in the documents. And they didn't want that. They didn't want to open up anything with these people. They wanted a solid, like, testimony, which I would have given, but I was being like muted a bit. And I wasn't the only one. There was like 5 other girls, Jane Doe's, that were like muted. So, but I'm listed in the court documents. I'm in the indictment, And, I'm grateful that I am, because the prosecution, the feds know that I'm not lying. They did an investigation, because you cannot be in court documents like that listed as a victim if they did like 2 years of investigating. So we just grateful that, you know what I mean, I'm always going to be, my story is there and it's valid.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And the
So we're
people
going to
with
go
you.
to another trial.
Yeah, yeah. Because Chicago, and then Brooklyn, Chicago, and Atlanta, right?
Brooklyn, we already got his ass. Now we go to Chicago to get his ass.
Yeah.
And then I think it's Indiana.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
There was a 14-year-old victim that they said that he raped there.
And it's coming out that it's Jane Doe's and
John Doe's.
John Doe's.
John Doe's trial.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, I didn't even know that part.
Yeah.
Wow.
John Doe's and Jane Doe's.
They were underage.
Yeah.
Boys.
Oh yeah,
And they wanted to be singers.
Same
story.
I was just gonna say that, Lizzette. It's funny how it all did this. I bet you slipped them a note. The same thing.
It's a pattern. It's a pattern.
Yeah.
It's like he had that shit rehearsed. 30 years of doing the same fuck. Yes,
Yeah.
When
I watch it, say I hope he's found guilty on all states.
Amen.
You know what I mean? Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely, Vivian.
Absolutely. It's the same tactics and the same thing. Like Yo-Yo, she was on the Breakfast Club and she talked about how she took her daughter and her daughter left. She was like 23 and one of the security guards slipped her a note. You know what I mean? And then when he hugged her, he said, "Call me." You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yes. And Yo-Yo was like, what if my daughter wouldn't have told me?
She would have been sitting here.
Absolutely. And everybody's not lying. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got the same story, but everybody's lying. It must be nice.
He's a convicted predator. That's it. You're convicted.
Yeah.
Yes.
100%.
That's it.
Wow. Absolutely crazy.
Absolutely
crazy.
I don't know why they said why did they stifle known victims?
Yeah.
Making them be quiet.
That's the thing. We don't understand as to why the judge said we can only talk about certain things, which makes no sense. But whatever, he was convicted, so I'm all right. Honestly, like I was prepared to go, and so were the other victims, but I really don't know how I would have reacted emotionally to seeing him. Yeah. I don't know if that would have been great for
your book. No.
My mental.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's
because it's been 25 years now. And my book, I would have thrown it at him.
I think you have a whole stack and just been like,
God works in mysterious ways. Exactly. It wasn't meant for you. It wasn't meant for you to go on that stage. Nah. It wasn't.
But I
will
see him when I make my statement at the.
Yeah.
And that's more important to me. I mean, it's not more important, but I think it will be more cathartic for me because I'll get to write something that I want to tell him. Yeah. And he has to just sit there and listen.
Yeah.
Get that closure, 100%. Right. Yeah, you need that. Do you think you're going to write another book after this one?
I don't know. I'm trying to do other things like documentaries to expose different things that are going on with women.
Yeah.
So, there's like a serious problem with domestic violence and sexual assault and abuse in Puerto Rico.
Wow.
And in 2018, the statistic was every 14 days a woman was being murdered, due to domestic violence. And nobody talks about that. So like my goal next is to have a production company and to really tell other stories. I want to tell women's stories, men's stories. Just we all have a story. Yeah. You know what I mean? And just because, your abuser or your situation have anything to do with someone famous doesn't make your story less important.
Absolutely.
So I want to dedicate my time to doing that. Like that's a next goal, and I'm trying to do something right now. I just pitched something.
Yeah.
That's dope.
No,
Look
that's
at
good.
you.
I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad he didn't stifle your dreams of
Yeah.
doing
Nah,
what you want to do in life.
for
Like,
that.
I think it helps us to push us more because we
Yeah.
have that kind of hatred and that revenge. It's like, I'll show you, you know.
Yeah,
Here we
I mean,
go.
it's not ever been like that with me because I don't really have an ego, but I'm like a person that I see a vision for myself, and that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah,
And no one's gonna stop me. It doesn't matter who the situation is, whatever the case is.
Talk your shit. You know what I'm saying?
You know what
Now,
I mean? Like
yeah. Yeah, that's a fact.
I've always been goal driven. Like since I was that little girl walking in the mall. I mean, I had a whole fucking plan going on that I was gonna
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I mean, he may have stifled that, but that wasn't meant for me.
Yeah.
There's,
And you didn't ask for
I
this.
have a bigger purpose in life than
Yeah.
that. I could have probably been a one-hit wonder. We don't know.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We don't know what could have happened, or I could have made it. However, I feel like my purpose now is bigger and better.
Yeah. Yeah.
for sure it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And let's talk about that purpose. You mentioned your book, amazing book. You know what I mean? Jane Doe #9. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about it. It's out now. It's in the description. I need everybody to go check it out. It's a paperback on Kindle. It's the audio book. Is the audio out now, Lizzette?
Yes, it is today. It went on sale today.
Hey,
Yes.
congratulations.
Thank
Yes.
you. So
Yes.
anyone that's really not a reader, you can listen, and it's a great book.
Yes. We got it up on the screen.
Yeah.
She's
Thank
telling
you.
her story. Absolutely. The
Mhm.
book is in our description. Go to Amazon, support. She's telling her story and she's being truthful. She's being honest about it. You know what I mean? And we're gonna support her right here. You know what I'm saying? And we not here for no flogging, you know what I'm saying? No disrespect. And it's all about uplifting her because she deserves it. And that's what we're gonna do, Lizzette. You know what I'm saying? It's super dope. No problem at all. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Now-
Good for you for going through all this and telling your story and just sharing with others because it's what
I
it-
just want young girls to know that they matter. You know what I mean? I went through so much shit in my life. Like after him, I had kids by someone who was even a worse abuser.
Yeah.
It's in the book too. Like
yeah.
and I was really hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was in a situation. I mean, this mother was a monster.
Yeah.
I fell into that because I had already been trained.
Absolutely.
Those are the type of men and that's a relationship.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you got to break that cycle.
And I broke it. And after that, you know, I was very young. After that, I stayed alone for a long time and I worked on myself and I just tried to raise my kids and do the right thing and just be, you know, a person that is a good member of society that works and takes care of her kids. And, you know, I learned right away what a relationship after that relationship, what a healthy relationship should look like.
Yeah.
So, you know, that book talks about that because I mean, I don't even know how I'm standing still, you know, sometimes because I've been through so much. Like that shit gonna make me cry right now to think about it. But
Yeah.
I'm a warrior and I'm never gonna stop fighting for others and telling their stories and just being a person that anyone could really look for and look up to.
Yeah. Those tears are well deserved. You know what I'm talking about? Own them. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's a lot of people that been through what you've been through, Lizzette, and they ain't standing on the other side. You know what I'm saying? So it's clear that you're here for a real reason. Like when I watch it saying, you are brave for putting your story out there to help others. And see, that's exactly what I'm talking about. And not only are you trying to help others, you are taking the proceeds from this book that you're making all this money from, and you're putting it into a program, a house dedicated to your grandmother in Puerto Rico to help other victims. You know what I'm saying? Talk about that and how special it is to continue to be an advocate for victims and celebrate your family's legacy.
Well, it means the world to me because, like I said, my grandmother was a street social worker, and on the weekends she would be like, "We're going on appointment. We have appointments," and I'm like, "Appointment." So her appointments was that she would go visit clients that needed help, filling out paperwork for government assistance. Like she knew how to finagle. She knew how to work the system, not in a bad way or a legal way, but she knew the paperwork. She spoke 5 languages. Like she was
Wow.
a freaking lady that didn't play no games.
Yeah.
And like I love my grandmother so much, so much. And she went through a lot too. She
Yeah.
went through abuse and she was raped and she had kids and after a while she gave up on men and she just gave her life to helping others. And I want to, give her a tribute. I want to make this home, named after her and I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
So that it's called House of Delia, La Casa de Delia.
That's
And
beautiful.
the way I want it to be, my sister and I are doing it together. My sister is my partner,
That's
and
dope.
Yeah.
we're gonna buy a property, but we want to talk to the government. Come in January, we're gonna go to talk to the government in Puerto Rico to see if they'll donate us a place that we could build the house.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean? Because there's so many people, so many women that need help.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And
When I
you
had
doing
when
it.
I had my kids, my twins, I didn't have anywhere to go. I didn't know where to go, and I was being abused. You know what I mean? In front of my kids. And I know that there's so many hurt women that are hurting.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what speaks volume to your character, Lizette, because you speak in such a passionate way about helping others. It affects us in such way. It's rare to come across a male or a female that haven't been abused in some shape, form, or fashion. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So we all can relate to it. And it's people who go through that abuse and they deal with that abuse their entire lives. Things
Yep.
that happened to them as children, they still dealing with it in their 40s and their 50s, one day and making horrible decisions based off something that happened to them as a child.
Yeah.
So you speaking about these things, it is amazing. I can remember my mother being abused and coming in the house and seeing her with black eyes and all kind of stuff and how that did to me. You know what I mean? Like it changes the view of your life. It exposes you to
Yep.
things early. It changes your whole
Your
life.
whole life.
It
You know,
affects you your
and
entire life.
a lot of people go to drinking and drugging,
Absolutely.
to
To hide from the pain.
Good. Yeah.
numb pain.
Yeah.
There was a period there where I was drinking, years ago, and I had to stop because I was like, this is depression, and I came from a home where there was alcoholism, and I knew that I couldn't fall into that trap. So I got my shit together real quick. But there's others that are walking around, alcoholics for years, and it's all pain. It's all because they're wounded people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's really hard to deal with it. Yeah. Some people don't know how to deal with it, and it's a shame that they do that. And it's really hard, even like I said, just to even, we have these experiences and we have those flashbacks of the trauma and everything we went through, but we have to deal with it at the time when it pops up. We have to push through those emotions, even if it's crying for hours, feeling like we're alone. We have to deal with those emotions. Otherwise, like, yeah, drinking and doing drugs, that kind of stuff is just so unhealthy and worse. It just puts you in a worse state of depression. So dealing with it, like even if, like we said, go get help if you need to, but just take like 2 hours and just cry it out, like whatever it takes,
Yeah.
and
Like
try not to go to that side. Like if you do feel like you have to get something to help you, that's when you really need to get help.
you really need to get help to get
Yeah.
out of that situation that's making you think that you got to self-medicate.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's self-medication.
Yeah. If anyone's watching this and you know someone that's just like been through a traumatic experience and then you do see them starting to do drugs and they're drinking, like get help for them. Like talk to them and see, what's going on. Because really, like we just think, oh, just the worldly stuff going on today is making people depressed. You don't know what people are living with every single day. like domestic abuse and things like that is so well hidden. You know, like I remember like you know, you go into public, people think everything's all good, you're happy marriage, this or whatever, and it's just like you don't know the inside. You don't know
I have no
behind.
idea what's going
No
on.
one
I have no
knows
idea what's
going
going
on.
on, and you
Yeah.
know, anyone out there listening that may be struggling with that, just make a meeting, because there's miracles happen in those meetings. I was there.
Yeah.
And I've seen it for myself.
Yeah.
And it's always one day at a time. Oh, at one point,
And that's it. Don't beat yourself up over it.
Time.
Yeah. And it
Well,
is.
you definitely got support here, Lizzette.
Thank you, Claire.
Yeah.
Yes.
Claire is amazing.
Thank you so much.
Yes. The culture gang stand up for the truth.
Pray for me. People say they pray for me. I always ask people pray for me.
Yeah. And really do it. Don't just say you're going to pray for me and don't do it. Really pray.
Pray for the victims.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
I will put you on my rosary tomorrow. How about that?
Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Lizzette, we want to thank you for coming through to the Culture Connection. You know what I mean? Man, come on,
this is a vibe.
Yeah.
Talk your shit.
Big vibe.
I'm receiving that.
I wish I could hug y'all. You're so cute.
Aww.
Hey, that part. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Especially your ass, because you a trip. I love you. You have such a nice energy.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate
it.
So
You're definitely a really beautiful woman.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. It takes one to meet no one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I'm big on energy, like a vibe. Like if I feel the energy is off, I'm not gonna really deal with it. You know what I'm saying?
And what I told you, that's what happens to me when the vibe is off and the energy is off. I gotta get rid of these mother. I was trying to be funny, but yeah.
Oh man, hey, I love it. Like I said, Lizzette, your story is amazing.
Yeah.
Your energy is amazing. Like, consider this your home away from home. Like, you family. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You family. You can't get rid of us if you wanted to. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, we locked in. You know what I'm talking about?
But you in Chicago, right?
Yeah.
So if I ever go to Chicago, I'll look you up.
Yeah.
And where are you?
I'm up in Canada, in Calgary, Alberta. Yeah.
I want to go to Canada. I've never been there.
Okay, come on up.
we'll make it a trip. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to do a book tour, so maybe that would take me around.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes, but then you have to come up here and be like, oh, I was on with Cari.
Yeah.
And, it's a thing.
I gotta get this money for this house.
That's right.
Yeah, that's a fact. You know what I'm talking about? Hey, you earned it. You know what I'm saying? You earned it and you deserve it.
Yeah, please. Do you have any links more like on the house and everything?
No, not yet, because it's really early, but I will share it.
Yes. Please let us know, because I want to share like on the Jess FM page and
because I'm gonna put up a website so they could take maybe donations and stuff, like maybe they can donate some money toward that, but just to have it so people know what it's about. So we're working on that. Come January, my sister and I, we fucking hitting it hard.
Yeah.
They asked about the book.
They asking about the book. They want to know where the book at, Lizzette. Let them know.
Amazon.
Yes, it's on the screen again for everybody that wants to know where the book at. Go buy. It's the paperback, it's the Kindle, the audio version dropped today. So that means you can sit back and you can listen and let an actress talk about it. She acting it out. She making it a whole vibe in a movie.
She's a very good actress, by the way. It's very good.
Yes. And you get a whole story, in full detail. It's a great read. It's a page turner. So go and support. Go and purchase this book so she can continue to help and change people's lives. And that's what it's all about. And again, Lizzette, we want to thank you for coming through. You know what I'm saying? Spinning the block with us. You are welcome back anytime. Anytime. You know what I'm saying? But we finna put some look, we finna put some stuff together though. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, we will.
Yeah, we finna put something together. You know what I'm talking about?
I'm excited.
Absolutely. We're gonna let you go because I know it's been a long night, but thank you.
Thank you for the people watching.
Yes.
And the nice comments and all the messages. And anyone that buys the book, I really, really appreciate it.
Yes.
And thank you for hearing my story.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Time is something that we can't get back. So we appreciate you giving us yours, okay?
All right.
Absolutely.
Bye.
You enjoy. Bye, Lizzette.
Bye-bye.
Cari. Now, we are talking about amazing. You know what I'm talking about? We're talking about somebody who didn't allow their circumstances or what they've been through stop them from helping people who they felt was in need, that was going through the same type of trauma that they went through. And for me, that is amazing because a lot of people would not do it.
No, it's true. I think being in the same kind of situation, it's true. You know what you've been through and you're like, okay, you have that power in a way to be able to share your story, be able to be like, I can help you. I know I've been there. Because when you are there, you feel really helpless. You feel like you're struggling. You feel like you're nothing. You feel like you don't even know how to get out of the situations. But when God blesses you in a certain way to be able to get out of that situation, you're like, it's possible. Yes. There is a way. And like prayers and family, friends, somehow God's like, I'll get you out of it. Like somehow. Yes. And then we have this incredible story to tell. And it's not like the incredible in like a great way, but it's one of those stories that it's like, okay, I need to tell it because number one, a lot of people go through this situation and a lot of people don't realize they're not like, you're not alone. You really aren't. And it's happening more and more and more. And people now just coming out, oh, this happened to me. This happened to me. It's not like we're out there because, oh, I want you to feel sorry for me. That's not how it is. It's like, I'm telling you because there is a way to be able to get help. There's a way to be able to use it in a way to be able to be like, okay, I can help others as well. Yeah. So we feel like, you know, maybe you turn the victim into like, you got to switch it around. You can't have a victim mindset your entire life, right? So we kind of feel like, I don't know, we just got put into this situation where, I don't know, it was just so bad. But then at the same time, it turned completely around into being like a blessing. I wouldn't be doing this today if I hadn't gone through my situation. Like, absolutely. You know, so it's kind of like this whole thing. It's like, okay, well, God says, okay, I'll put you through this. You need to get really, really, really tough. Be like you and just be like, okay, be yourself, Cari. You got this. Yeah. And then I'm going to push you on and you're going to meet like Big Wall. And then you guys are going to be doing this. But you know, it had to take those certain steps to be able to get there. Right. Yeah. So, but then you learn through the whole process. You learn of like, okay, I think we kind of fall for people too quickly. We trust people way too quickly. I think, someone's so nice to us. We meet someone, it's like, oh, you know, you're in love or whatever. But it's like, you need to really, really learn to find out who they are. Yeah. You know, it's great. It's all fun and games, whatever. But it's like, okay, take off the fun hat for a minute and sit back and be like, okay, is this person who they really are? Things like that, you know, and be able to, you have to really start to learn to trust yourself too. You have these little voices inside and it's like, okay, is it saying, is this good? Or is it saying it's bad or things like that? Listen to your own intuition. For women, we have a little bit more of a stronger intuition, but men, you guys do have it too, but it's, you know, not as strong, but still it's there. So you have to learn to like start to really trust your gut, but also
listen to that little voice.
Yeah. And then people around you, like if you're, you know, in a relationship, whatever, like get them to meet your family, whatever, so you can get a little bit of that. Okay, can you trust that person? Do they rub you the right way, this or that, whatever? Just kind of get like an opinion, because sometimes we're wrong. Sometimes we have those rose-colored glasses on, as they say, and we're not really sure, right? Or they have something they want to give us, like, you know, Lizzette, oh, she could get into a singing career, you know, like this could be massive. This is such, you know, all my dreams come true. sit back for a minute. Why?
Yeah.
Why are they contacting you? Why did they give you a number? Why are they looking at you? You're so young. Why didn't they get you to contact the manager instead of him? Like there's situations that don't add up.
Yeah.
So get the right information first, because a lot of people don't get the right information and look at the red flags. People, I didn't know about all these red flags before. I had no idea. I was so young, right? So do get your information. Like, just get knowledge about it all, because that's the biggest thing, right? Like, we often, we're living life, we're busy, you and I, we're so busy. We don't have, like, we meet people left, right, and center, all this kind of stuff. And along comes someone that we like, great. But are we having that time to sit back and be able to be like, okay, get the clearer picture of things, right? That's what we, you need to do. So people are out there, we're out here living our lives, we're going to work, we're doing this, we're doing that. Great, someone comes along, this is wonderful, hooray. And then we fall into something that we don't want to. Absolutely. Like, we shouldn't be in, because, we didn't look at a couple things, So yeah, it opens your eyes and be like, okay, often they say if something's too good to be true, it is. It
probably
too
is
good to be true. Take that step back and be like, okay, is this too good to be true? It's like those little spammy emails that come around and, oh, you won $1 million from your beneficiary, blah, 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 blah. Okay, did someone die that I know? Do I have my benefit? I'm not a beneficiary.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're like, why?
It's dope, man. Shouts out to you, though, Cari. I just want to say this because I know personally that you went through things as far as abuse and things in your life as well. And in order for you to reach certain heights and continue to move, you had to come to some understanding, and you had to grow, and you had to be brave enough to come out and speak. And I know that's not easy. You know what I'm saying? And people hearing your story as well as stories like Lizzette and everybody else, it gives them the courage to want to come out. So I want to say shouts out to you, because I know it wasn't easy for you as well. And to anybody out here that needs help and feel like they need somebody to talk to and need to get some understanding and clarity on their life, find you some help. Reach out to somebody, and maybe you can get things in the right order. You know what I mean? And that's what we want to do on the Culture Connection. You know what I mean? We're going to talk about all these type of things with different people's stories, as well as ours. You know what I mean? It was a great night. We had an amazing interview, man. We want to give a shout out. Super amazing. Shouts out to Jess TV.
So cool.
Everybody that's watching it on the NG. What is it? The NGG network in Italy. You know what I mean? Thank you. Thank you for everybody that's watching on Roku TV. Everybody across all the platforms and everything that they've been tapping in. We've been getting a lot of love and a lot of look. We still getting. Unfortunately, when you're young and starstruck, none of the wisdom is a forethought. That's a fact. That is a fact. That is amazing.
Get yourself and if you're a mom too, absolutely, you sit down with your kids when they start getting those, even pre-teenager, when they're starting to get interested in the other opposite sex. Sit down with them, start having some talks.
Absolutely.
Because
have some real conversation.
And have that communication with your kids too, because they need to be able to feel free to be able to come to talk to you if there is a situation going on, because they need to have that comfort level to be like, hey, oh, mom and dad, I'm starting to see someone. I would like you to meet them, or get their knowledge, like a little bit every day, see what's going on in their life, to see if it's healthy, things like that, because it's they need to be able to come to you, parents, and be like, hey, this is what's going on. That's the most important thing, because you don't want them getting trapped into these things or falling off into the depression state either. Like, we don't want that.
And missing the signs, you know what I mean? Because there are always signs, you know what I mean? So pay attention, have those conversations with the people you love. And that's what we want to do on the Culture Connection. We want to spark those thoughts, you know what I mean? And bring them to fruition, you know what I'm saying?
Might be a little uncomfortable sometimes, but
hey,
what's uncomfortable to being a really bad situation? Like, your kid doesn't need to be on the stand. Let's put it that way. So,
being uncomfortable brings change. You know what I'm saying?
Good
we need
changes.
to be more uncomfortable, a lot more. You know what I mean? So again, we want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thanks to Jess TV, everybody that has been tuning in. We appreciate all of the love and support. Me and Cari will be back next Tuesday on the Culture Connection. Look. Also, stay in your children's business. They'll thank you later. That is a fact.
That's it. Yeah. Get out of my room. Don't look at
That is a fact. Shouts out to the Culture Game for being so on point. You know what I mean? But again, we will be back next Tuesday for the Culture Connection. We need everybody to like, comment, subscribe, join the culture. You know what I'm saying? The Culture Connection. Anytime we drop any kind of content, y'all be the first one to get it. We appreciate all of the love and support. Until next Tuesday, I'm your boy Big Wall. I'm your girl Cari, and this is the Culture Connection. And like I always say, your culture makes you who you are, so make sure they respect it. We're going to catch you on the next show. We up out of here.
All you gotta do is hush, you ain't gotta say much when you make that right connection. If you wanna double up, keep the money in the tuck, I can put you in the right direction. I can never get enough, all I got is us, I speak the true confessions. Everything goes smooth cause I stay on the move and make them right connections. All you gotta do is hush, you ain't gotta say much when you make them right connections. If you wanna double up, keep the money in the tuck, I can put you in the right direction.